That was good. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about all 5 episodes of Chernobyl, the brand new miniseries on HBO. I was excited for this. I've had many people in my comments saying, Austin, have you been watching Chernobyl? It's phenomenal, and yes, I absolutely have been following along, and we finally got episode 5 last night, and I cannot wait to tell you guys my thoughts. But I need you in the comments down below. Let me know, what did you think of this series? Did it disappoint? Did it overwhelm? Is it one of the best series you have ever seen on HBO? Because that's the word that I'm hearing. Let's talk about Chernobyl. So in April 1986, an explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics becomes one of the world's worst man-made catastrophes. So I watched the final episode, and my goodness, guys, did it measure up to those other episodes? This is one of the best looking series I have ever seen. And I hate to go that far and say, oh, it's one of the best shows of my lifetime, but if you look at the filmmaking and just the look of the show, the cinematography, the way that they established that tone in the first episode, the color correction, the desaturation, everything about it is almost perfection. On a technical level, I can't really fault this show for anything, and a lot of it has to do with the directing. His name is Johan Renck. I hope I pronounced that right, but he is known for commercials and music videos. Now, he has worked on television shows before, but nothing to this caliber, nothing to this degree, because this is filmmaking. And I know people joke about it a lot on Twitter and blasting the snobby film critics. Oh, that's filmmaking, isn't it? Yes, this is filmmaking, man. This is what I love about television and movies. The way that you can make us feel a certain way about a true story. This is one of the most horrifying shows I have ever seen. It starts out in the first episode. It's all very slow and somber. It's all surrounding this one event that seemed minor to the population at the time, but once you start uncovering what actually happened there and the mystery behind it, that's one of the intriguing parts about this show as well, is you don't know what actually happened unless you know the true story until the last 2 episodes, when they start to uncover what went down in Chernobyl. What we love about this show is that, of course, yes, but it's the effect on the town. It's the effect on the people around it. I hearken back to that one scene with that old lady milking that cow where she just does not want to leave this town, and she says that I've had people come after me before. I have lived here my entire life. I'm not going to let something that I can't see take me away when all of these people that I have been able to see have tried and failed. That scene alone really kind of describes the feeling that you get when you watch Chernobyl. It is a show unlike any others. And I don't want to say show. It is a mini-series. We only got 5 episodes, and my wife was last night saying, 5 episodes? That's all we get of this show? I want to see more. And I think that's the thoughts going away from Chernobyl is, I just want to see more. I want to see more of the style of filmmaking. I want to see more of something that gets you so invested in a show that I personally did not think I was going to get this invested in. Like, I was excited for Chernobyl. I saw the trailers. I said, that show could be really good, but I didn't know it was going to be this level of good. You look at Game of Thrones. The new season comes out in 2019, and you think that is the event for HBO, right? That's the show that's going to have everyone talking, and it did. And popularity-wise, I would say it's more impactful than Chernobyl, but quality-wise, Chernobyl is, like I said, one of the best miniseries, absolutely. Maybe my favorite. Band of Brothers is up there, but one of the best shows I have seen in years just because of how it made me feel. We talked about the establishment of tone in that first episode alone, but as you move throughout, you start getting this eerie feeling, and it continues to eat at you throughout the episodes. Yes, the acting is fantastic, and you have quality talent in this show. Some of them may be unrecognizable, yes, but they're all so good at what they do. Barry Coogan, one of my boys, pops up in here, and I say that because the guy has been in so many movies, and every time I see him, I'm like, he's incredible. How to Kill a Sacred Deer, American Animals. The guy just knows how to do it, and he does not pop up until almost the end of the series, but when he pops up, you notice him because he's so good. Emily Watson is great as always. She's great in everything that she does. And here, her emotion is what brings the audience along, right? You are invested in the story, of course, but we always need someone to gravitate towards. And what she goes through specifically is handled so well. And Jessie Buckley, same thing. What her character goes through towards the beginning of the series is just heartbreaking. You feel for what she went through. You understand that what she has to do now is what we would do and how we would feel in that situation. Stellan Skarsgård is in this show, and he has always been one of my favorite actors. Every time he pops up, he is so good, but he really impressed me more than I even thought he would in Chernobyl. His intensity about this situation is something to latch onto, and when he pops up in episode 2, you are in his storyline from there on out. Same thing with Jared Harris. They kind of work in tandem throughout this show, and yes, the actors are great. And yes, the look and the technical elements of the show is great, but what about the plot? What about the story? Because if we aren't invested in this story, we don't care about that other stuff, right? The story is one of the most interesting things I have ever seen on television, and it goes down this horrific route. It really is a true horror story, and even some of the scenes, the way that they are handled, they are set up and established like a horror film. When certain characters are in tight situations, the scene where they're in the suits walking through the water and you can just hear how much radiation is around them, and you know that what they are doing right now, well, you know that about basically everyone involved with this situation, but what they are doing right now is going to affect them in the future. And when you start to actually see how this is affecting the people that were involved, and then how it's affecting people that were just around Chernobyl, it is horrifying. The practical effects, making their bodies look the way that they did, they're slowly deteriorating, they're slowly turning into something that really is not human, and seeing the loved ones see their loved ones going through this is heartbreaking. And guys, this is a true story. Now, I have learned about Chernobyl in school and I've read about it, but I've never understood the true weight of the situation until now. And it is something, and we go throughout our lives and we live every day not thinking about the tragedies of the past. We do sometimes when we commemorate them and we celebrate the survivors of them, but we don't truly think about the horror of a situation like this. Chernobyl showed us the horror of Chernobyl. This is a series that I think was needed, was warranted. It brought this tragedy back up so today's generation and today's kids, and even today's, I don't want to consider myself an adult because I'm kind of a kid, today's adults can go back and learn more about this situation and see how horrifying and thrilling in a cinematic way, but horrifying really, this situation actually was, guys. And it was something that I think was, I don't want to say built to be because it was a tragedy and I wish it would have never happened, but it is something that I think needs a retelling like this. It deserved a show, but it didn't just deserve a show, it deserved this show, because this is the ultimate way to tell this story. This is the ultimate way to show us what actually went down, what the people in the area that lived there their entire lives, like I said, had to go through, and then seeing the horror of what this did to the people around it, what it did to the poor individuals who had to go and had to clean up around. We see the scene where everyone is working around the plant. They are absolutely burning up, and no one is providing them with air or really any kind of nurture. So they strip down, they take all of their clothes off, and then they're asked, why aren't you wearing any protection? Why are you working in these conditions completely naked? Or some did have underwear on. And the answer that they got, and the answer that really rocked me to my core was, is it really going to make any difference? You guys are sending us out here to do this job. It is basically a death sentence. Is it going to make a difference? And that's when you get into the corruption of the story, how they were trying to cover this up for so long, the way that they butt heads with each other. Some people realize that it's not ethical what they are doing to these people, and it's unethical how they're going about the situation. And then others realize, oh my goodness, we are the worst human beings. And that political conflict, the conflict in general, but that is another element of the show. So you have the horrifying elements, you have the thrilling aspect, you have the people in the town, you have the people that had to go through this, you have those who were affected because of where the others were moved to. All of these different things firing on basically all cylinders because the execution was so well, but they come together in this seamless way, and they come together to create one of the best shows, once again, that I have seen in a long time. Guys, Chernobyl was awesome. From episode 1 to episode 5, I was never bored. I was always locked in. I was focused on these characters and these situations, and I thought the direction was fantastic. Everyone who worked on this series, I commend them. Everyone who has been hyping up Chernobyl, if you have not seen it yet, please listen to the hype. Go check out this show. Seek it out if you do not have HBO, because I think it is deserved. And I need you guys, like I said, in the comments down below before I give my score, talk about this show. This is your place and space to talk about Chernobyl. In terms of spoilers, it's a true story, so you can't spoil much. I would refrain from heavy spoilers. Just put the little spoiler tag if you want to. And if you like this HBO review and you want to see more, hit that thumbs up button. But I am going to go, you know what? I don't know if I've given this score for a series yet on this channel, and I'm not saying this is perfect because nothing is perfect. I'm sure there are minor nitpicks here and minor nitpicks there. Maybe some of the accents could have been better, but Chernobyl was awesome. This was an experience. This is the highest of quality filmmaking, and I'm gonna go 100% for Chernobyl. I love this show. I want you guys in the comments down below. Let me know, is there anything that can beat Chernobyl this year? Are you looking forward to what comes next from HBO in terms of miniseries? And how did you feel about this show? Thank you so much for watching this video. More reviews to come. Tomorrow is a very special event because this is Black Mirror Season 5, and we are going to talk about possibly every episode individually, so be on the lookout for a bunch of videos tomorrow. Either way, we're talking about it. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon.